Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, sexy Virgos, what are we going to do today? This is different. Actually, it's a reading I've done a while ago. Well, it's been a while since I've done it, but they're really fun. And I just did it for Leo, and it was really deep. I thought, oh, this is interesting. This could be kind of cool. So, it's typically called, what the hell is your deal, man? What the hell is your deal? But I thought to myself, it's more like the mask you wear. Like looking in depth about any sort of mask that you might be wearing. So yeah, that's what we're going to do this week. And I'm going to do it in a really interesting way. I'm going to layer up the reading. So instead of actually like pulling out a small tarot deck and clarifying, I'm going to put layers on to give it more depth. So we're going to start with my Rider-Waite tarot deck. And then I'm going to go into my energy oracle deck. And then we're going to go into my karma cards for this reading. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. We'll kind of look at, you know, the mask you wear, why you don't show your true self, how that affects the relationships you're in, advice for you, outcome if you follow all the advice, all that stuff. So yeah, let's get started, Virgo. It is a general reading, my dears. Because of that, it may or may not resonate. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there will be an extended. The link to that is at the top of the description within this video. Let's give her a good shuffle. All right, Virgo. The mask you wear, aka what the hell is your deal, man? What is your deal? I'll do one more. I'm hearing one more. One more. Virgo. Number 6. All right, Virgo. The mask you wear. Your cards are saucy. All right, saucy cards. Who you really are. The King of Swords. Authoritative ruler. Solid logic. So, I just, you know, I mean, because you guys have Mercury as your planet ruler, which is also like Gemini. So it is. We know who you are. We know who you are. Vetting people. You're like vetting people. So you can be aggressive. You could be a firm friend or a vengeful enemy. You see the big picture. Overturn old ways for new ways. I kind of see like that part too, like pattern solving, clue seeking, determining. All right, because we know. I was saying, okay, yeah, there we go. There's Virgo. Okay, the mask you're hiding behind though. Oh, what is this? The Ace of Swords. Y'all are being so healthy. So this is funny. It reminded me a little bit of Leo, but completely different energy. This is almost like some sort of a new truth. What are you hiding behind? You're hiding behind your words. That's what I'm hearing. You're hiding behind your words. Now I'm gonna let it fully develop, but it kind of has a feeling to me, like you are on to something new, or you have a new idea, or you have some level of enlightenment here. And when I'm talking about this reading, it's like kind of like right now. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean how you've been your entire life or how you're wearing a mask the last 3 months. Maybe it is, but I'm in the energy right now. So I feel like some sort of enlightenment here. And I feel as if you're redirecting a bit. You're redirecting people with your words, with your insight. Because the Ace of Swords, this is the mask that you're hiding behind. You might also be displaying like a sense of really strong clarity, but you don't have it on something, you know, kind of playing a little bit of that fake it till you make it about something. This is so curious. Okay. Why do you hide your true self? Oh, Cindy called it. Okay, Two of Swords. The Two of Swords. Because you really haven't made a decision here, or you don't feel like you have all of the information that you need to really make a decision so that you can do something with it. You could literally be sitting between two paths to choose from. The thing is, it's kind of like calling on your intuition to help you decide. I really do. I really think that you're, yes, you can't see through a tarot reader. That you're hiding behind, like, almost like you know your path, you know where you're going, you know, but really you're kind of hiding this because you don't know. Good hide, good call. Okay, how this affects your relationships. Oh, it's tiring. You know, people don't know if you're coming or going. Are you coming or are you going? I don't know. I don't think you know. We got the Two of Swords. I don't know. Does anybody really know anywhere? Like, what's going on? Yeah, a wounded warrior, lost battle, but hopes to win the war one day. But that's how it affects your relationships. It could be like how you feel about your relationships. It could be how people are feeling with you about relationships. It's a little bit of the, is Virgo gonna poop or get off the pot there? What's going on? Because, like, you are, when you make a decision, look like, oh, whoa, Virgo's made the decision. They're pretty strong with it. Yeah, solid logic. So it kind of feels like, too, that you're maybe currently sitting in some sort of a situation or conundrum where typically you would be able to see your way through it. You would be able to intellect your way through it to get an answer in a direction, but you can't. So you're literally faking it till you make it, but I guess maybe there's people around you waiting for some sort of a firm decision. So the advice for you, oh, the Three of Swords. You know what? You got to deal with some mental shit before you can move forward. You got to deal with something here. Advice for you, the Three of Swords. There's so many swords here. Okay, how come if you follow the advice? The Ace of Wands. That's kind of a nice energy because this is the energy defeated. It's just really, really tired. It's been a long run. So the outcome feels like some sort of a sacrifice of the heart because of the mental anguish or the mental indecision. The Five of Swords is at the bottom. There's a disparity here between winners and losers. I'm going to keep building this up. It's just so interesting, huh? I'm so tired today. I feel like I inhaled something, a bug, when I was sleeping. I went to sleep last night and like 2 hours in, I just woke up and I felt like I had to cough. And I coughed and coughed for the longest time and I felt like I inhaled a little bug. The weirdest thing. So I didn't get good sleep. I'm just making chit chat, All right, so who you really are, the mask you're hiding behind. Who you really are. The door to personal healing and happiness. You're a nice warm space. It doesn't get though. Really? You are unequivocally. I want to tell you who you are. You're not doing anything until you have conquered the door to personal healing and happiness. That's what that feels like to me. You're adamant. Adamant that you will not That's who you are. You are the ruler of the door to personal healing and happiness. And you won't do anything but that. So you're working on that, which means with the King of Swords here too, it means you might be coming to some sort of changes in terms of your belief system, how you have found logic in things and maybe now don't. Yeah. Seeing the big picture differently. So because of that, the mask that you were hiding behind, it's almost like a truth, but I don't feel like you're expressing it. I don't think that you know the truth. You just don't know the truth yet. But you're just going on. You're just going with it. You know, with the King of Swords as well, I mean, you might have some position of leadership or authority here. So you've got to, you know, you can't go into a group of people that are looking up to you or at you for leadership and I don't know. Let's just all show up and see what happens. That won't go well. So the mask you're hiding behind, the sun. I'm telling you this. Like, you look like you have all the clarity in the world right now. You don't have any idea what this shit is going on. You were doing it so well. I just have to stop right now and say you were doing it so well. Because if you are on some level of leadership here, and you really, honestly, I have no idea what the next 10 minutes will bring. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Who the hell knows? You're not showing it in the least. I wouldn't want to play poker against you unless I had a tarot deck, to be quite honest. And yeah, no. Yeah, everything's going to be fine. I know exactly what's going on. No, you don't. I can see right here, you have no idea. So why are you hiding it yourself? Because you don't have a clue. You don't have a freaking clue. Oh, you feel kind of vulnerable. Okay, that's why. Well, that would make sense. Because you are an intellect. You are who you really are as the King of Swords. You are a very strong intellect. But you don't know right now. So you're feeling kind of vulnerable about this. You know, this is showing... I do want to say, I don't feel like this is deceit. I feel like this is a very strong performance in leadership. And I guess maybe it's because the King of Swords is here with the door to personal healing and happiness. Very, very intelligent, very mindful of happiness and pain and joy. I mean, so that's who you are. But you don't have a clue what tomorrow brings, so. But you're not showing it. I mean, I can't believe you're hiding it. Probably there isn't anybody around that wouldn't know that you don't know. Okay, so how this affects your relationships. Man holding the coin, which reminds me of the King of Pentacles. Wounded warrior. Well, I will say this. I feel like in work, I feel like in terms of how people see you in your community, in your neighborhood, your friends, I feel like they can't compete with you. Yeah. That's how it affects your relationships. They feel like they can't compete with you. I feel like because you come off as very stoic, an authoritative, kind leader. I'm getting it, like, usually the King of Swords is no emotion there, right? But I don't feel like you're one to, like, give a hug to a colleague or a neighbor. But I feel like you're probably one to listen to exactly what's being said, process it in an intellectual way, and then, you know, even perhaps give them, if they're asking for it, because I also, as a reader, I find the King of Swords isn't going to tell you anything unless you ask the right question, and then you'll get the answer in the direction that you're looking for. Because the King of Swords can keep information pretty tight. Information and emotion. So, but I think that there's an emotional intelligence here. So, like, yeah. So this, but how does it affect your relationships? I just really feel like that you are perhaps creating, or you have created some level of leadership in your life, and people around you don't feel like they can compete with you. So I don't know if some people are trying to compete with you. They may also feel like, okay, so I feel like there are some that feel like they can't compete with you. So these might be, I don't know, if it's work or some neighbors, well, I just can't keep up with those Joneses. But, and then even if it's competing for positions at work, some people just don't think that they can. They look at it and say, I think they've tried and they can't. And then there's others here, though. I feel like when they feel that they aren't winning, that they keep trying over and over and over again, and they're not winning, they can go to you and get the answer. This is really interesting, right? Because the mask you're hiding is like you're all knowing. All knowing. Everything's going to be good tomorrow. Everything's going to be good yesterday. It's like, what? I don't remember being good yesterday. We're going to make it today so that we remember yesterday being good. It's just, I don't know what you got going on here, but that's just extraordinary. You were hiding behind. I want to say too, I don't find this deceptive because, again, it's that leadership energy. It reminds me of that movie. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. I only watched it once because it was so hard to watch. What was that called? It was not, I don't believe it was a North American movie. Like, for here in North America, it was like a foreign movie, and it was about a father and I think his son. Was it his son or daughter? I think it was his son. And they were being taken to a concentration camp, like during the Second World War. And he continuously made a game out of it for the child, so that the child would not be absolutely terrified about where they were and what tomorrow could end up being. And like right to the end, I think even when he was being taken away to be executed, like separated from the child, it was like a game. Him and the soldiers were playing a game. Like it's a little bit like that, where I don't really feel like you're being deceitful for a very bad reason. I wish I could remember what that movie's called, because I'm getting that energy here. Yeah. I really like it, to be honest. It feels safe. That's what it is. It's somehow you're making people feel safe. But what, honestly, it could be a bad situation, or you don't know where it's going to end up, or how much. I mean, even yourself, like the father in that movie, of course, has no idea what's going to happen in the next 15 minutes. This is a very vulnerable situation. I don't know. But the only thing that I can see here is that whoever's around you, whatever people are around you, there's no need for them. I don't know, like, how do you take on this kind of burden? It's pretty heavy. So advice for you, boy, just keep your spot. You got the first chakra and the Three of Swords. This is not, your advice is to stay in like a heartache. Because I feel like there's a sense of self-sacrifice going on here. Maybe there's something that would be easier for you to do than to do what you're doing right now. Well, this can't be really easy. I mean, the fact that the mask is the Ace of Swords and the Sun, like you have all the answers, you know everything's going to be great and happy and clear. Why would that be a mask? The only thing that's telling me, particularly with, why you're hiding your true self, is that, yeah, I don't know. So, I don't know, it's really interesting. Like, don't move. Your advice is not to move away is to stand your ground in whatever, literally whatever position you're holding right now in these cards that I'm seeing. Okay. Outcome if you follow the advice is this Ace of Wands. So I feel like there is something rejuvenated here. Something gets rejuvenated. Right? So, oh, what are you doing? So good. Look at the Ace of Wands and the Healer of the Ages. This is the outcome if you follow the advice. Oh, so beautiful. I don't know where you are or what you're doing. Gosh, I wish I could remember the name of that movie. I'm sure someone will put in the comments, right? I've said enough. What is called at the bottom? Magician in the Mirror. Yeah, don't. Third chakra. Right? Reflecting. You're reflecting confidence. You are reflecting confidence where, in fact, you're like, I don't know. I really don't know where this train is going. You're doing a good job, because honestly, the mask looks like everything is fine. All right, so let's see what the karma cards tell us. Okay, so who you really are. Aries. Oh, I thought this came out for Leo. I don't remember where. Wow. Who you really are. Okay. Oh, so I'm getting, like, so with this card, in changing energies, you were able to meet the challenge. Like, whatever you've managed to accomplish or whatever you're going to be accomplishing, I think because who you really are is kind of like whatever you've already managed to accomplish. It's because of your honesty and strength. So there's something here about your honesty and strength that you're known for. You might have better intuition than you even realize. Because I think when, okay, you've created some sort of, like a pattern or a persona that people understand, or it's predictable. Like if anyone's ever come up to you before and said and asked a question about, you know, something that could be going on in your community, in your family, or whatever it is, or your work, and it was bad news, you gave it to them. You just said, yeah, you know what? I mean, it looks like that is what it is. We're just going to have to do what we have to do. So, because if, I just getting this, like, your honesty and strength. If in the past people had asked you about a situation, and I would probably guess, like, it would probably have to happen more than once for then the pattern to be established, that if they later found out that you knew something may not turn out very well, but you just said, it's okay, everything will be fine, but then it wasn't, there's no sense of trust in you. They don't see, that's not strength. Your honesty is a strength here, like with the King of Swords. They'll tell you, even if you don't want to hear it. Okay, so I feel like you're in a situation right now where you're not doing that. So I don't know what's going on. I still have to pull out more cards. But this is why you can have this mask on right now. And you can look like you know what's going on. But I also don't think, this is the part about the intuition, I don't think that you would do this if there wasn't a part of you telling you that everything was going to be okay. I don't know what this is. That everything's going to be okay. Yeah. So I feel like too, because you're feeling vulnerable here. You don't have the information. You don't have any experience to drive yourself forward and how this could end up. Like, you haven't had a pattern like this before. So what is the solution? I don't know. But I feel like your intuition is talking to you somehow. And that's how you're able to, I don't know, in some way pull the wool over people's eyes. But that phrase isn't correct, because it's kind of like pulling the rose-colored glasses over their eyes just to get them through something. All right. So the masks that you're hiding behind, right? The first house. So this is still Aries energy. Interesting. The way you project yourself. Do it on your own. Wow. You won't hesitate. You're not hesitating. Yeah, immediately. Do it on your own. Yeah. There's no hesitation here. Or at least you're looking like you're not hesitating. You might have thought about something for a long time. Boom, just did it. You're taking personal power here. Personal empowerment. It has everything to do with the way you're projecting yourself. So why you hide your true self, right? The North Node. There will be success from benefit. I love the way these words come out. You're going somewhere where you haven't been before. The North Node. I love it where these come out. This is such a fascinating reading with this combination of cards. I just grabbed them like spur of the moment when I went into Leo. Yeah. You're hiding your true self because you're going down a path you've never been before. You have no idea. North Node. But it's kind of part of your destiny here, being the North Node. Something you're meant to walk into. How this affects your relationships. Gemini. Information to explain. Communications about resulting from the fluctuations of. Again, I feel like you are, I talk about the man holding a coin. To me is like the King of Pentacles. This person has so much practical experience. The point that they brought themselves to is through hand in, like, what am I trying to say? Their own personal experience and like witness to experience. So they have a lot of answers. Like I said, this is like when someone just doesn't know anymore. They've been trying and they just can't get anywhere. You have the answer. And I feel like having the answers is kind of what has built you up too on some level. So it is. You can give explanations. You can communicate explanations really well. And I want to say kind of think on your feet here. So like fluctuations in things changing. In the community, right? Like in the community. In a close community with Gemini. Now, advice for you, right? You've got the Three of Swords and the first chakra. In the 9th house. Spiritual values, long-range thinking or travel. What is to be shared? The 9th house too, right? Like this is higher learning and travel, philosophy, long journeys. Yeah, again, long journeys. And then here, because this is more, I think, is Gemini, is the third short journey, short trips? Yes, it is. I'm trying to learn my houses here. So a little cheat sheet. So yeah, short trips. So right now, how does it affect your relationships? I feel like you have an effect on relationships much closer to you, where the advice for you is to see the long-range forecast in whatever kind of self-sacrifice you're being asked to make, because there will be bigger connections, longer journeys here, long-range thinking. This could be just a temporary. And again, that movie with that father, probably knowing that he wasn't going to get out of that alive, hoping, dear God, that his child did. That's the long-range thought. I've just got to make this fun and feel safe and like a game from a little 6-year-old. It's been so long since I can't watch it twice, that movie. But the long range here is something much better. And that child not going forward in life with like a trauma, being traumatized by that experience, the chaos and the fear or whatever that could be. Right? Like, yeah, like not having, could you imagine the difference? Yeah. Of a child whose, you know, parents were, I would probably be the terrified parent, so I'm not going to put anyone down, but the terrified parent and the crying and the screaming being pulled out of each other's hands, like that's something that would really stay with a child. But then like to be guided through or led through that experience and never ever see the fear or the doubt or the terror on that parent's face and really think it is a game. And yeah, oh yeah, didn't he get the child to hide in a crate or something? I think so. And then eventually came out. And you know, as the child would get older, they would eventually know what happened, but they wouldn't have been traumatized by it. Such an interesting reading. Outcome if you follow the advice. Oh, Jupiter. Grow and expand. Be positive about. Learn or teach. Wow. Oh, this is really neat. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful outcome. Yeah, that's all I can say. Like, this is a beautiful outcome. And there, like here, both of these, I just want to say, because Jupiter also rules Sagittarius, 9th house. We're talking about the long range thinking. And yeah, that will have a good outcome here for you. It may give you experience. You may travel somewhere. You may go, you may take some new courses in something, or you may be teaching something based on, you know, something that you've been through, an experience that you've had. You will find positivity here. You will help others find positivity. What's at the bottom? Saturn. Let's constrict the shit out of stuff. Limits imposed, caution regarding the maturity that brings. This is earning. This is earning that, right? That's what, yeah. See, well, there you go. That's that reading. Isn't that fascinating? I find it fascinating doing it this way. So, what I'm going to do, Virgo, I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I'm going to use an oracle deck and a tarot deck, and I'm going to ask 3 main questions in that extended. I'm going to ask how to improve your relationships. I'm going to ask, what would your deeper self tell you about the mask that you wear? And then the third one is how to release your true potential. Thank you so much, sexy Virgos. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.